Father, is all this stuff true that's in Wikipedia?
100%. You couldn't even make it up. You
Okay,
couldn't even
so
make it
let
up.
me
I
just
promise.
go over this part. All right, so your dad was Verlin. Then who was Ervil?
Ervil was my dad's brother.
All right, so
And
you had
honestly,
Ervil and Verlan who were brothers, and then who was Rulon?
Rulon was my mother's brother, so it was her uncle. And Ervil eventually had almost 30 of our family members and friends murdered, including his own brother Joel, who was our prophet at the time, and also Rulon Allred, who was a huge leader of a polygamist sect in Utah. And he was coined the Mormon Manson back in the 70s and 80s. And because my dad, Verlin, was on Ervil, his brother's, death list, my dad moved about 5 or 6 of his wives to Nicaragua, including my mother and the kids. I actually went with them when they went down. There was 12 of my mother's children in the back of a pickup with everything we owned, which wasn't much. She just took a few kettles to cook in and blankets and all the kids. And we traveled and lived in Nicaragua, washed in the rivers, lived on dirt floors. I honestly had already met a man in LA, and he got a hold of me and asked me from Nicaragua over the phone. I called him to wish him a happy birthday back on February 11th of 1975. And the first words out of his mouth is, "Will you marry me, Donna?" I had gone out with him a few times, and he had 3 little boys. And like I joke now, I said I would have married anyone at that point just to get the heck out of Nicaragua. We were in such poverty.
Yeah,
Kids all got tapeworms.
It says on
It was horrible.
Yeah, it says on the Wikipedia you guys lived in huts without electricity or indoor plumbing. You had ticks and you had intestinal worms. Now, I just want to get this straight. This Ervil, who was this murderer, he killed Rulon just because he knew Verlan would go to the funeral, and then Ervil was planning to kill Verlan, your father.
100% true. My dad actually had to testify and helped land his brother in prison, and he ended up ultimately dying a few days, I think 2 days after my father was killed in an accident. He died in prison. But it's true, every word of it. We lived in such fear. We hid in goat corrals. I mean, my mom wrote about that in Cult Insanity. And then, but no, you couldn't even make it up. We lived in terror. They came to Mexico and bombed our houses with Molotov cocktail bombs that made, shot up our home, killed people. Ervil didn't do anything himself. He was just the mastermind behind it, and he ordered all of his members to do this. And I have actually 4 first cousins, Ervil's own children, that are serving life sentences today. And it's so unfortunate because they're just victims of circumstances. They were brainwashed by their father in order to do this. And a lot of his children they just lived really sad life. Several of them, I should say, committed suicide, couldn't handle it. And a lot of them are just victims of circumstance. I wish there's a couple, at least 2 of them that I know today that are in full-time prison sentences, and they are definitely born-again Christians. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad. It's just, you can't even imagine all that's gone on all these years because of religion and because of somebody that was, I don't know, bipolar, schizophrenic, something. And he brainwashed these people to follow him blindly.
So it's amazing to me that you and your mom sent in this sweet love story that we published in Chicken Soup for the Soul, Dreams and the Unexplainable. But you have this unbelievable Game of Thrones kind of mafioso life in the background. Now, has anybody come to the family to make a movie about this?
Honestly, that's my ultimate dream. I can tell you the truth. That's my ultimate dream. Mom left me power of attorney, and to me, it would be a dream because there's never been a movie made about it. There's a lot of TV programs and this, that, and the other, but Mom's story is so beautiful and it has such a beautiful ending. I think it would make an amazing movie, and that's my ultimate prayer. Like I said, it's worthy of that, and God has been good. And today, I'm, most of Mom's kids have become born-again Christians, and I only have, at one time, my mom had 6 of her own children involved in polygamy. Today, she just has 2 of them, and she has, at the time of her death in March, she has 129 grandchildren, and this is just from her own 13 children. and over 140 great-grandchildren that are growing all the time if someone's pregnant. So
wow.
She definitely left a beautiful posterity, and a lot of her grandchildren and kids have come to know the Lord and have chosen to live a different lifestyle. But I was actually the first one to leave, and I think that kind of helped because give them permission to at least look outside the box, because they totally adored me as their biggest sister, and today they tell me I'm like the matriarch of the family and they love me, but I just always tried to be there for them and just be there. I always like the saying that Mother Teresa said, go out every day and preach the gospel. If necessary, use words. And I'm not one to ever argue, or even, to tell you the truth, I just had 25 biological sisters show up at my house. We planned it for 4 months. And on August 24th through the 28th, I had them fly in from 10 different states in the U.S. and 3 different states in Mexico. And that's the only second time in our lives we've all been together. And they all came here to my home. And the only thing I said is no, religion and politics are off. We're here to bond and love each other. And we had the most phenomenal time. I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, there was no drama whatsoever. Girls were weeping, sharing their lives, their kids, it was just the most beautiful thing that you could ever see. I just had a 16 by 48 picture canvas made with all of us in the picture. And there's 26 of us alive today.
That's wonderful, Donna. Unfortunately, I have to close down this interview now because I have another one starting in 2 minutes. But I want to thank you so much for joining us today. It was wonderful having you. And I want to thank everybody for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast today. You can go to our website, chickensoup.com, to learn more about the book that Irene Spencer's story appeared in, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Dreams and the Unexplainable. And come back Monday for a look at our new book about stepping outside your comfort zone, which is definitely something that Donna has done. I'll be recording the podcast on the floor of the National Association of Broadcasters Convention, which is itself a way of stepping outside my own comfort zone. So, Donna, thank you so much.
My privilege and honor. Thank you so much.